Hey guys, Dinosaur here back here doing another book review, and today we'll be, reviewing Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Sorry if I stuttered right there. Yeah, Salem's Lot. Yeah, this book was published in 1975, I think. Yeah, it was 1975 when this book was published, and basically what this book is about is it has a very simple plot actually. That this dude named Ben Mears, who's a writer who used to live in the town of Salem's Lot, because like Salem's Lot is like the name of the town. It's the title of the books, and yeah. So like Salem's Lot is this town that's in Maine. Yeah, and like this dude named Ben Mears used to live in there growing up. And like something bad had happened to him in his past. Like in his past, like he had been haunted. Like he's always been haunted by this house called the Marston House. Yeah. So the Marston House is like this haunted house that lives like just outside of the town, but you can so you can see it like from anywhere you are in the town. Yeah, and so the Marston house used to be home owned by this man named Hughie Marston, and Hughie Marston one day he he hung his wife and himself. Yeah, and then when Ben Mears was a little kid, him and his friends were playing Truth or Dare, and so they dared him to go into the house. And so he does go in the house, and once he's in there, he's just very freaked. He's just very scared, and is just exploring the house, but very scaredly though. And then he goes up to Hughie Marston's old room, and then he could have swore that he saw Hughie Marston and his wife hanging from their necks, and he could have swore that he saw Hughie Marston open his eyes and look right at Ben, and then that made him run away and like leave the house. Yeah, he just ran as fast as he could out of there. Yeah. So yeah, and so like now that Ben Mears is an adult, he has become a writer and he's made a lot of great books in his past. Yeah, and so Ben Mears he just decides to go back to Salem's Lot so he could write a book. He wants to write a book specifically about the Marston House. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, and so like he goes there, and like once he goes there, like he's not the only person that moved into the town of Salem's Lot or visited actually. There's this other dude named Richard K. Straker. Is that his name? Yeah, that's Richard K. Straker. He moved in there so he can like open an antique shop in there, and so like and then he rented the Marston house. Actually, like he got what's his name? Crockett. Yeah, Crockett. He got Larry Crockett to sell him the Marston house for just $1 because he like makes him like do these other tax funds that could make him get more money. Yeah. What else was I saying? So like Straker lives there, and like them two are like the people who have moved into Salem's Lot. But once both of them move in, some crazy shit starts happening. Wait, before I get into the crazy shit that starts happening, I would just say that once Ben Mears moves into the town, he lives in like he lives in Eva Miller's apartment houses, and yeah, he lives in Eva Miller's apartment houses, and like he meets up with a couple. He meets this girl named Susan Norton. Yeah, he meets Susan Norton, and like he tells Susan like him and Susan like start slowly falling in love because like Susan's actually the first person he ever meets like officially in the once he moves in. Yeah, so like he starts like he likes her a lot, and like they slowly start falling in love. Or no, I wouldn't say slowly, but quickly. I would say quickly actually. Like they quickly start falling in love because like they fall in love like towards the second part. The second, let me see. Yeah, the second part. I mean, the first part of this book. Actually, I wouldn't say second. They start falling in love in the first part of this book. Yeah. What else was I saying? So yeah, and like from there, like meets this other person that he had already met when he was already in Salem's Lot when he was a kid, which was this teacher named Matt Burke. Yeah, he meets up with him and he becomes friends with him. Like he becomes friends with Matt Burke. Like Matt Burke is like he's the teacher in high school in the Salem's Lot High School. Yeah. So like he meets Matt Burke, and like they start talking about the town, like he needs him, like, and like Ben even tells him like, you're what inspired me to write my books. And like Matt Burke recognizes him because of the books he wrote. And so Susan too, like Susan recognizes him from the books he wrote, and like that's the first thing they talk about. Yeah. What else was I thinking? Let me think. Um, what else should I say? Oh yeah, and like so yeah, they just start they meet and like what else is there? So yeah, those two people meet, but like he starts meeting other people too, but like later on in the story. But I'll get into that. And so after that, like some really crazy shit starts happening in the town. Like these two, like like Richard Straker like hires these movers to like get a crate from what's that place called? It's called, I think it was Bangor, Maine, where they were getting the thing from, or Portland. I think it was Portland. Yeah, it was Portland, Maine, where they were getting the crate from. So he orders them to get a crate, and once they do, like some weird shit starts happening in the car. Like the crate starts moving, the whole like the whole truck gets so cold, and then like Richard Straker like hired them to like put that crate in the basement of the Marston house, and so they are really scared of doing that. So they just they put the crate in there, but like they start looking at the house like slowly, just briefly look at the house, but then they leave. Yeah. And then they leave to forget because they were getting scared. Yeah. And then once that happens, like these two children named, what were their names? Their names were um I remember one of them was I how could I forget their names? Let me see. Ralphie and Danny Glick. Yeah, Ralphie and Danny Glick. Those are the names of the kids. Yeah, they go they go leave the they go home from like practicing like a play they were doing with wait, was it a play or was that in the movie? I don't think it was a play. I think they were just practicing homework with Mark Petrie. Yeah. Is it Mark? I keep getting confused if his name is Mark Petrie or Petrie. I'm just gonna say it's Petrie. Yeah. But Mark like they on their way home from like leaving Mark Petrie's house, they decide to take the forest route, which they never take that route. And once they do, Ralphie gets kidnapped. But like Danny barely leaves, but he gets really sick coming home. Yeah, he gets really sick coming home, and like Ralphie just goes missing, and then and yeah. Some other stuff starts happening too, like some other crazy shit starts happening, and like later on they start realizing that the town is possessed, but from the Marston house. Not just the Marston house, actually. There's some other crazy shit in this town, actually. Like later on, Danny's like Mark Petrie sees Ralphie in the window, but as a vampire. Like actually as a vampire. Like Mark sees him in the window as a vampire, and he gets really freaked out about it. Yeah, and so like there's other people in the town and then there's this other person, or I wouldn't say person. It's actually a monster named Kurt Barlow. He's a human vampire, but he's in charge. Like his plan is like he was the person that was like he was the one that was being held inside the crate. So Kurt Barlow is like this human vampire. What he wants to do is like he wants to work with Richard Straker to like infest the whole town with vampires. Like he wants to infest this whole town of Salem's Lot of vampires because like they think that the town is bad or something like that. Or what's the reason why? I think it was because like the spirit of the Marston house like calls to them and like has them do that. I don't really know why they want to do that, but they want to like infest the whole town of Salem's Lot with vampires, and then like and yeah, so yeah, that's what they mostly want to do. Is there anything else I should say? Let me think. And then like later on in the story, Ben Muir starts meeting a few more people, such as this doctor named Jimmy Cody, who is Matt Burke's doctor. So he meets up with Jimmy Cody, and like Jimmy Cody like starts like realizing that there's crazy shit happening in the town too, and like so does like Susan and Matt too. And then he who and then like Ben also meets this priest named Father Callahan, which Father Callahan, he's a priest. He's a priest, but like he's an alcoholic too. Like he's an alcoholic priest. I actually really like him a lot. Father Callahan, he's like an alcoholic priest, but like he's always like so confused, like who he should like follow more, the alcohol or Christianity and God. Like he's always so confused because like he loves drinking a lot, like he drinks so much, but like he loves God too. Like he loves to like worship God and to like praise Him and read the Bible, but he's so confused on like which path he should take. Yeah, so that's basically Father Callahan, and like once Ben Mears tells Father Callahan about the vampires, like Father Callahan basically becomes the one to take the holy water for them and like to like be the priest of all this. Like the exorcist sorta. Yeah, and then they also meet this. Ben also meets this little kid named Mark Petrie, who I talked about a bit ago. Mark Petrie, he's like a middle school kid, but he's a very tough kid though. Like he's a very tough kid. He always stands up for himself, and he cares about himself so much. And like he's a horror fan too. Like he really loves horror, like to the max. Like he loves horror, and like once his friends went like Danny Glick goes missing too after a while, or like they find him dead in the hospital because like he goes to the hospital once he gets out of the forest because he gets sick from there. From getting like a cold or something like that, a really bad cold. I don't know what it was, or like something from like I don't know. I don't remember what it was. I read this book last year actually. Like I read this book. I finished this book last year. I can remember a lot about it actually. Just a little bit of stuff I can't remember. So sorry if I can't remember a little bit of stuff. But most stuff I could remember from this book. Yeah. What else should I say? Yeah, I read this like in the ending of eighth grade, which was last year. Like the ending of eighth grade last year, and then like it was the ending of eighth grade, and I was gonna be a freshman last year. Yeah. What else was I saying? Oh yeah, so back to Mark. Yeah, and like Mark, he also like he wants to like he knows that there's vampires here too, and he wants to kill them, and he wants to kill them for turning his best friends into vampires. And like he starts joining Ben with him. He starts joining with Ben and all the other people. So yeah, it's a group of 6 people who want to do something about it, who want to just go to the Marston house and destroy the vampires and kill Barlow and Straker. So yeah, that's basically the whole plot of Salem's Lot. Now, do I like Salem's Lot? Yes, I love Salem's Lot. This is an excellent, excellent book right here. This is, I would call, one of King's masterpiece, actually. This one I actually really enjoy, actually. I think I would put this on my favorites, actually. Like I said, I've only read 10 books from him, but I definitely put this somewhere around my top 5. Maybe top 3 actually. So yeah, I just really love this book. This is so good. Like I just really love the whole atmosphere of this book, taking place in just a small town of Salem's Lot. Yeah, but Salem's Lot is actually called Jerusalem's Lot, but they call it Salem's Lot just to shorten it out. Yeah. But before I get into my thoughts about this, I just want to quickly say the story of like King publishing this. So King really loved this book right when he published it. Like he already wanted to publish it, but he had a different title for it. He was at first going to call it Second Coming, and then his wife was like, "No, Stephen, that makes it sound like a bad 1970s porn magazine." Yeah, and then like he just decided to retitle it to Jerusalem's Lot, and then like he once he published it to Doubleday, which is his first publishers. Once he published it to Doubleday, Doubleday was like, no, this sounds like a religious novel actually. So they themselves shortened it to Salem's Lot. Yeah, and so that's where we get the story of publishing Salem's Lot. Yeah. So yeah, and I just really love this book, and like you can like easily tell that King has like so much inspiration from Bram Stoker's Dracula was writing this, because like he had a lot of inspiration with this first book with the way it was paced, because like with Carrie, because like Carrie was like being told with the main story, but then at a little bit of times it would like go to like futurized parts of the book that take place after the story, but in newspaper articles, which was like how Bram Stoker's Dracula was paced. And yeah, but this book is not paced like that at all. I actually like it. There's no newspaper articles, none of that. Yeah, and that's what I really like about this book. It was better paced than Carrie, I would say, and it was a really well told vampire novel and a really cool haunted house novel too. Like I that's what I love that about this book is that this is a mix of a haunted house novel and a vampire novel. I really love that a lot about this book. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say about this about? Let me think. What was I just saying right now before I said that? Let me think. What was I saying? What was I just saying? What was I? Oh yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and like you can easily tell that there's inspiration from him because like a lot of these characters resemble the characters from what is it from Bram Stoker's Dracula? Yeah, you can definitely see Ben Mears as the protagonist of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and you can definitely see Susan as like the I haven't read the Bram Stoker's Dracula novel, but I've heard like a lot of like that this book gets a lot of inspiration from that, and you can like. And I've heard a lot about Bram Stoker's Dracula because like Bram Stoker's Dracula has like one of the most famous horror masterpieces. Yeah, and like you can definitely see Matt Burke as Van Helsing. Yeah, and you can like so easily tell that Kurt Barlow basically resembles Dracula. Yeah. What else was I thinking? So yeah, this book definitely had so much inspiration with Bram Stoker's Dracula. You can definitely see the Marston House, sort of like Transylvania, I would say. What else should I say? Let me think. I think that's the whole inspiration of this book, but just the whole context of this book was just really cool, taking place in a small town. And another thing I love about this book is that not only do you get focused on the protagonist of this book, but even the minor characters get their own story too. Like all the minor characters in this book get their own story. It's very similar to It too, because like in It, a lot of the minor characters got their own story arc in the book, and that's here too. But it has like a lot more of that actually. Like there's a lot of chapters just dedicated to just these characters in the town, and you basically see the whole town actually. Like you basically just see like the whole town, like everyone in this town in this book actually. Like, and that's what I really love about it. Is just you learn so much, like everything about this town actually. Like you learn everything about the town of Salem, and I really love that a lot about this book. I really love the whole like side chapters like with Rory McDougal and Boom Boom Bonnie, I think that was her name. They called her that in the movie, but I don't think they called her that in here. Which was like Rory McDougal like Rory McDougal was like sleeping with this girl, but she was already married. So yeah, and like there was this other part too where like these I forgot their names, but like there was these like two young couples that had a baby. Like there were these two early adults, I think. Were they early adults or were they late teens? I think they were late teens. Like there were two late teens that already had a baby, but they just hated their life with the baby. And they just absolutely hated their life with the baby. They just hated the baby so much, and like I think they even I wouldn't I mean that's I mean, I forgot to mention that this review will contain spoilers, so if you haven't read the book, leave the review. But that part was very dark when they killed their own baby. Like I think they killed their own baby actually. Like did they? I don't think they did. I think they just dropped him or something like that. But like yeah, but you can just so tell they hated their life with the baby. And then there's this other girl too named there was this other girl too who was this let me see. Okay, let me pause real quick. We even got to see Larry Crockett's part of the story too. Like Larry Crockett with his daughter, who I think was in love with one of the garbage people. Yeah, and like we even got to see. I mixed up the names for the person that was sleeping with Bonnie. His name was Corey Bryan actually. Corey Bryan was sleeping with Bonnie. I mixed that up. Rory McDougal was the name of the teenage dad who had a baby. Yeah. Um, there's this other girl too. I forgot her name, but she had her own part of the story too. I forgot her name. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look for her. Her name was I can't even remember. I can't even find her anywhere. Let me try to see. Okay, forget it. I can't find her. But I'm pretty sure you guys may know who I'm talking about if you've read the book. Yeah. But this book is just really good, and like I love all the major characters too. Like let's talk about the major characters now. I really love all the major characters to this book. I really love Ben Mears. I think he is one of King's greatest characters actually. I really love how tough he is. I really love how brave he is. Like he's not scared of anything in this town. Even the Marston house, he's not even that scared of. Like he can totally like bring up his fear, bring up like like not show so much fear with the Marston house. Yeah, he can just like fight back with the fear of the Marston house, and I really like that a lot about him. And he can just fight back with the vampires too. I really like that a lot about Ben Mears, and I really loved his relationship with Susan. That relationship was just really cute. I really love their love relationship so much. They had such a cute love relationship. There, I think that's probably one of King's greatest love relationships. Actually, I just really love their relationships. It was just really cute. I really loved Ben, how nice he was too. Like he was just very chill too. Like he was just a very chill man. Like whenever he would meet these people, he was just very chill with them. Yeah, I really love that a lot about him. Is there anything else I should say about what's his name, Ben? Let me think. So yeah, I just really love how like smart Ben gets to. Like Ben is like really wise in this book, and I really love that a lot about him. And I really love how at times you even see what he's writing in his novel, and he writes really good. I really like that a lot about him. Is there anything else I should say about Ben? So yeah, he was just a really cool protagonist. I could easily like side with him. Yeah. You even care for Ben too. Like a lot, all these characters you care for actually. Like every single character in this book, you really care for. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say about what's his name, Ben? Let me think. Hmm. So yeah, and I really liked his friendship with Matt Burke. They had a really cool friendship too. Like they were basically best friends. So yeah, I really liked their relationship a lot. And I really liked his relationship with Jimmy Cody too. He was really cool. Yeah, and I really liked his the father son relationship with Mark. I really liked that a lot about them too. Like Mark and Ben definitely had so much of a father son relationship, and Ben never had any children, and like Ben, like he lost his wife in a car accident, I think, and like he never had any children with her. But like he just wants to move on, and that's when he meets Susan. Yeah. So yeah, and I just really love how like he treats Mark like the son he never had. Yeah. So yeah, and I just really love Ben a lot. Yeah, and I really love Susan too. She was a really cool character too. Like I just really love how smart she gets, and like when she's always like siding with Ben and all that, she's believing him about all this stuff. Yeah, and I really love how like she's a citizen to Salem's Lot, so she's used to all the stuff that goes around in Salem's Lot a lot more than Ben is. And I really love all the scenes with them, like when they're chilling in the forest and all of that, and they're just like having a good time, and they're in front of the river. Yeah, and I really love like when they're talking with Matt too, and like they're what else is there about Susan? And I really love what happens to her in the end. If you guys read the book, you guys may know what I'm talking about. But I really like that whole part of the story. It was pretty sad actually. It was really sad. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say? So yeah, I thought that was a really sad turning point. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say about this book about Susan? I think that's it. So yeah, just Susan had a really cool love relationship with him, and like she had a really cool backstory too. That she dated one of the truck movers. His name was Paul Tibbets. Was that his name? Let me try to look up his name. Okay, I'll just say that his name was Paul Tibbets. Yeah, I can't find his name, but I remember the name of the girl that had the minor character that like, of the girl that had her own story arc too. Mabel Wirtz. I really liked her too. Mabel Wirtz. I think she was like she worked in like the mail places. Was it? I'm trying to think. But yeah, I really liked Mabel Wirtz as part of the story too. What else should I say? Let me think. So yeah, about Susan, like she had her backstory was Paul Tibbets. Like she dated Paul Tibbets for a little bit, but she hated dating him, and like she just wants to forget about her love relationship with him. And like whenever Paul just goes up to her and he's like, "Please give me a second chance," she's like, "Fuck off! I don't even love you anymore." Yeah, I really like those scenes a lot, and like Paul is just always getting so jealous that whenever he sees Susan with Ben. So yeah, I really like those scenes a lot. Yeah. I think that's it about Susan. So yeah, Susan was a pretty cool character, and I really like Matt Burke a lot. He was an old man, like he was this old high school teacher, and yeah, I liked him a lot, and I really liked how um, he knew a lot about vampires and all of that, and like he was very smart too because he was a teacher. Yeah, and I really liked his best friend relationship with Ben, like I said. And I really liked how like Matt is always so concerned about everything that's happening in the town. Like he's very concerned a lot about the things that are happening. And yeah, and I just really love how he always knows what to do. Like he's the one that knows what to do most. So yeah, I really like that a lot about him. So yeah, and I just really loved how he was the one to like tell them what to do and give a little bit of exposition. So yeah, I really liked a lot about him. And all the scenes with him I thought were really interesting. Yeah. And I really like Jimmy Cody too, the Doctor Jimmy Cody. I really liked him a lot. I really like Jimmy Cody. I think he might have been my favorite character of this book actually. I don't know why. Just Jimmy Cody is just a very entertaining character in my opinion. Jimmy Cody, he's this doctor. He's like this rich doctor, and yeah, Jimmy Cody's this rich doctor, and like he's Matt's doctor, and he knows he knows a lot about health and all of that to like cure people, and he was pretty funny too. Like I did find a lot of scenes with him pretty funny actually. Yeah, and I just really liked how Jimmy Cody wanted to fight back with the vampires too, and like he got to know a lot about Ben and all of that, and he got to know so much about Mark. So yeah, I really liked that a lot about Jimmy Cody. Is there anything else about Jimmy I should say? Let me think. Is there anything else about Jimmy I should say? And I really liked how Jimmy Cody got to even witness the vampires. Like he saw what's his name, like the Glick's mom turn into a vampire. That the scene was in the movie too, and what's and like Ben tries to defeat it by like using a cross made out of the tongue sticks. Yeah, and and yeah, and then Jimmy's just really freaked out about it, and then like the vampire like pushes him around the room. So yeah, and Ben was able to beat the vampire right there by putting the cross on her forehead. Yeah, that scene was really dope actually, and so yeah, Jimmy Cody was a really cool character. Is there anything else about Jimmy I should say? I don't think this was in the book. It was in the movie. He helped the teenage couple that had the baby in the movie. I'm not sure if it was in the book. I don't think it was. Was it in the book? I don't think it was in the book. Maybe it might have been. I don't know. I don't really remember. Yeah, but I'll talk about both adaptations after this. I'll talk about probably one adaptation today, and maybe the other adaptation maybe tomorrow or Thursday. Let me think. What else should I say? But I think he did. He knew, but he knew. I think he knew about the teenage couple because later on they go over their house, like the trailers they live, and that's when they're able to see a lot that happened there, and that's when they were able to see a lot that happened there, and Mark changed it, took off his shirt because it was dirt, it was bloody, I think. I forgot what happened in that scene. Yeah, but Jimmy, he was a really good helper too. He helped the people. He helped Ben and Mark and all the other people a lot. He was a very good helper, I would say. So yeah, and I thought he was pretty necessary for this book actually. Yeah. And I really liked Father Callahan too. Father Callahan, I actually love his character actually. Father Callahan was really cool actually. I just love how he's always so confused on which side to take on, the Christianity side or the alcohol side. Because a lot of people do get really tough with that. They want to choose the drug life or the alcohol or the Christian side. Because that's what nowadays too. Because drugs have become really they've been taking on over people's lives a lot nowadays than alcohol has actually. Yeah. What else should I say? So yeah, and I really love that a lot about Father Callahan. I just really love how you see a lot of his story actually, and yeah. So yeah, I just really love the whole side of him. He's just always confused on what to do and all of that. And I just really love how he's the one to put the cross against the vampires, and he's the one to give the people the holy water, and he's the one to say the priest and Bible verses. Yeah, I really liked a lot about him, and I just really love how he's eager to help. So yeah, I really love how he what else should I say? And I really love all the scenes where he's just the people of the town need him to do a priest for the church or to priest for the funeral. He's just okay, I'll do it. Yeah, I really like that a lot about him. Is there anything else about Father Callahan? So yeah, and I just really love how so confused he is, and sometimes he's a little hesitant with doing stuff too, and I really like that a lot about him. Yeah. Is there anything else about Father Callahan I should say? So yeah, that was just a very interesting side of this book. Yeah, and I really love what happened to him in the end too. What happened to him in the end I thought was just fucking messed up, I would say. It was very messed up what happened to him in the end. I just really felt bad for Callahan at the end of the story. Yeah. If you guys read the book, then you know what I'm talking about. The part in the end of the story is what makes him go into the Dark Tower series. I haven't read the book where he first appears in the Dark Tower series. If you guys saw my book review for Carrie, I say that I've read the first 3 books of the Dark Tower series. I haven't read the part of this book where he he appears in, but I hear that he appears in the fifth book. I can't wait to read that book actually until I get to that book because like I'm really hoping to read Father Callahan to join because I hear that he joins what's his name, Roland Deschain and the kid and like Susanna and Eddie Dean. I think I hear that he joins them and I really want to hear. I really want to read that. Yeah, but like the end of the story is basically what I think is what picks that part of the Stephen King's timeline off. Yeah, but I just thought that was very messed up what they made him do. So yeah, like they Kurt like Barlow possesses him, like Barlow like makes him drink his blood and like he makes him like leave the town and like never come back and to like forget about like Christianity and all of that, like forget about most stuff he loves and to like just leave there and go to New York, I think that was. So yeah, I thought that was just very messed up. And he didn't even get to help out Ben and all of them by the very end of the story. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say about Callahan? So yeah, I really loved Callahan a lot. Yeah, and I really liked Mark too. I could find a little bit of relate to Mark actually. I really liked Mark actually. He was just this tough kid that could like stand up for himself all the time he was just very tough and like he was like basically resembled the one of the losers club actually like he kind of resembled the losers club actually because like he knew how to like he wanted to fight the vampires and all of that and he wanted to like kill the vampires. He wanted to like he wanted to do it before any of like the other people did, before Ben and all of them. Like he wanted to go to the Marston house alone, and I really liked that a lot about him. So yeah, and I really love the. I'll talk a little bit about Mark until I talk about Kurt Barlow. I really loved Kurt Barlow as the villain. Kurt Barlow was the perfect villain to this movie. Actually, he was very scary. Actually, like he was just a very scary villain. Actually, I loved him a lot. I really liked how he was just this human vampire and he was able to talk and all of that. Yeah. And I really love that scene where like where he faces Callahan. He's just like, face me, your fate against mine. And I really like that scene a lot. Where he like Callahan's just like, Mark, go, I'll face him. So yeah, I really like that scene. And I really love the scene where he's with Corey Bryant after like he gets kicked out of the house. And then he turns him into a vampire in that scene. So yeah, and I really liked how like whenever he bites someone, they turn into a vampire. And that's what he did with Corey Bryant. Yeah. So yeah, Barlow was just a perfect villain for this book. Is there anything else I should say about Barlow? So yeah, Barlow didn't really have much time in this book, but he was really cool for all the scenes he was in, and that was very necessary. That he wasn't really in this book for as long as you'd expect, but that was still a really cool choice too. So yeah, Barlow was just a really cool villain. I just really love all the scenes he's in, and I really love how he owns he owns the Marston house with Straker. So yeah, and the Marston house I thought was a really cool feel to this movie. How just the Marston house is possessed and like Barlow and Straker are very interested in like how it's possessed and all of that and how it called to them. Yeah, and I really like the ritual that they did to make Barlow come in where they killed the dog, the black dog. So yeah, for like someone that was stronger than Barlow. Yeah, I really like that thing a lot. So yeah, and I really like the end with Barlow too, like the end scene with Barlow. You guys may know what scene I'm talking about if you read the book. So yeah, that scene